Welcome everyone to the recap of the second game of the fifth round of the FIDE World Cup 2025. Big round today. We have 16 players left. Two of them were Indians, and today was the day when things can, be decided because it's the second game and players could be knocked out. It was an incredible day for Arjun Erigaisi because he managed to beat Levon Aronian to move to the quarter-finals of the FIDE World Cup. So Arjun is now literally one step away potentially from reaching the FIDE candidates tournament. Okay, how did the game pan out? Well, Arjun had the black pieces, Levon played the Italian, and it seemed like the position was going normally. At some point, Arjun played this move knight e8, and then he played f6, and then took on f3 and brought his knight. I mean, his knights were there, but then Arjun made this move h6, and it didn't feel right because these bishops, like this diagonal, entirely became a bit weak. But he got an opportunity when his knights were on h4 and g5. He could have sacked on f3 and then taken rook takes f3, and that position was so beautiful because after queen h7, king f8, you have the rook on e8, e3 is hanging, queen can move to h3. It was beautiful, but of course Arjun missed it at that point. It was too tough to see. And then came this very nice moment where Levon actually played his knight to e3 and he offered a draw. And at that point, Arjun could have taken a draw, could have not, like it was a very tough moment because till 30 moves you can't offer a draw. And there was this one stream I had done like in Chennai Grandmasters when we were live streaming, and Levon had come into the studio and was asked like, how do you make your draw offers? And he had said that I use my draw offers as a strategic weapon because I mess with the mind of my opponent. And I think that is what Levon wanted to do. He knew Arjun was very ambitious, but by offering a draw, he wanted to plant a seed of a little bit of confusion in the mind of Arjun. But as it happened, it kind of boomeranged on Levon himself. He got a bit confused. And in fact, he immediately blundered with queen f1. It was a beautiful line. You take on h2, right? If king h2, there is rook e3 and queen f4. But there is this very beautiful move, bishop g5, bishop g3. And then, when the bishop moves away after the rook trade, you go queen f6 with queen h4, and it's a forced mate. It was beautiful what that line was, but Arjun missed it. And at that point, it felt like, is Arjun going to find that final bit of energy to finish the game?
It was very computerish and very difficult to find.
Yeah, it was not at all easy.
And also for the draw offer, there was Humpy in the studio. We all were discussing. It was naturally anybody would have accepted a draw because of so much stress. But no, naturally anybody would have accepted a draw. It was so stressful. It was a position where you can go wrong and you can get knocked out. But I think when Arjun declined the draw, oh my God, it was a big kind of a shock in a way, and was very exciting. Though today's Levon's draw, I do feel maybe he had no strategic idea. I think he really wanted to go into the tie breaks, but yeah.
That's very well said. Finally, Levon made a huge mistake by playing rook to e1 that allowed Arjun to go knight h3. And Levon had actually seen knight h3, as he said, queen f1, and he thought everything is fine, but actually he missed knight takes g1 there. The main point being there's a mate on h2, and if you take on g1 with the queen, there is rook e1, queen e1, and queen h2 mate. So, yeah, it was unfortunate that Levon had to go out of this tournament, but it meant that Arjun Erigaisi has now moved into the quarterfinals.
And to add one last thing, that the most amazing thing about Levon was that today we had a cocktail party over here, and when we went, he was like dancing and vibing, and on the big board he was giving some chess training, and it was so much fun. Oh my God! I mean, to see somebody be so full of joy. I mean, I think from Levon, it is something we must all learn.
I think he's truly embodied this thing where it's more important to enjoy the game and not the results. It's brilliant. So I have my notes here. Hari Krishna drew his second game against Jose Martinez, which means they are 1-1. It goes into tie breaks. Tomorrow we'll have 4 games in the tie breaks there, as you can see. That's Hari versus Jose, Lei Kwong Liam versus Donchenko, Sam Shankland versus Daniel Dubov, and Andrei Esipenko versus Alexei Grebnev. These are the tie-break games. So Hari will have to tread carefully because Jose Martinez is really good at short formats. But let's hope that he does well. Frederick Swanner had lost the first game and had to win on demand today. He very nearly did it. But in the end, it was Sindarov whose defense was brilliant and he managed to get a draw and has moved into the quarterfinals. Levon Aronian versus Arjun, we spoke about it. Dubov versus Shankland is into the tie breaks. Dubov came with the white pieces, played calmly, draw, no fanfare, nothing, just pure strategy to go into the tie breaks and beat his opponent. Liam versus Donchenko was perhaps the most incredible round of the day with ups and downs which were so crazy. In the end, Donchenko was like 2 pawns up or even 3 in rook endgame and he could have easily won the game. But somehow the pressure got to him and he drew the game, which gives Lei Kwong Liam an insane chance to now fight for the tie break. And I'm pretty sure that if Donchenko manages to come back tomorrow, I'll be his biggest fan. Because it's so difficult after such a result to come back because you had almost finished off your opponent. Then we have Sargsyan versus Yakuboyev. Yakuboyev played brilliantly. He just launched a big attack with G4, H4. He was all over his opponent. I mean, Sargsyan defended well, but in the end, I think he made one final mistake with, Queen H7, BD6. This was all fine. King came out, but he played Knight C6, and this allowed Yakuboyev to crash through by taking on G7. And unfortunately, Sargsyan is out. Yakuboyev becomes the second Uzbek player to reach quarterfinals. So now we have 2 Uzbek players there. Grebnev and Esipenko made a solid draw. 2 Russians fighting out tomorrow in the tiebreak. Wei actually won a very smooth game against Samuel Savian. And in the opening itself, Savian went wrong with bishop f5 and a beautiful tactic, knight takes c6. Because if you take bc, I have bishop d6 and queen f5. It was just a plain oversight by Samuel, but he fought well throughout the game, but couldn't really hold it after that. And finally, we have Hari Krishna and Martinez 1-1. So that's from here. We have 4 quarterfinalists already. Arjun Wei is the quarterfinals which has been sort of already set up. The others will qualify, and I'm hoping for some great game, and I'm also hoping that Hari can do well tomorrow. We have the stage set up for the semi-finals and finals of the World Corporate Championship here. 4 teams have already qualified there for the semi-final finals. I think it is Greco, Google, JP Morgan, Morgan Stanley, I think, and Deloitte. These 4 have qualified. We are going to stream it live just to give you a feel of what World Corporate event is like. And I think it'll be a lot of fun, guys. Please think about coming to Goa because Ajjubai is getting into the zone. He wants to reach the candidates. He's facing the Chinese monster. It'll be great fun. And also, Hari Krishna, let's hope he gets it in the tie breaks. For now, this is Sagar Shah and Amruta Mughal. Bye-bye from Goa.
Bye.